My fiancé announced he's just a little boy who needs his mommy, to her family about me. I said, "You're right." When I moved back with mom and took my six-figure income with me, the little boy grew up fast. I, 29 male, work as a software engineer for a mid-sized tech company. Not Google or anything, but decent pay, about 115 kilo annually. My fiancée Rachel, 27, works part-time as a yoga instructor, makes maybe $25 a year. We'd been together 3 years, engaged for 6 months. The incident happened at her parents' anniversary dinner last Saturday. 25 people there, her parents, siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, the whole family. Context: I'm close with my mom. Dad died when I was 16, and mom raised me and my sister alone. She's 62 now, lives 40 minutes away. I visit her every Sunday for lunch, help with house repairs, take her to doctor appointments when needed. Normal son stuff, I thought. Rachel always made little comments about it. Do you really need to see her every Sunday? Or can't she hire someone to fix her fence? But I figured she was just adjusting to the dynamic. We were planning to get married after all. So, anniversary dinner. Rachel's cousin Bradley was bragging about his promotion, his new Tesla, his upcoming vacation to Bali. Everyone's congratulating him, and Rachel's aunt turns to me. "So what about you? Rachel says you work with computers?" Before I could answer, Rachel laughed. Not a nice laugh. That mean-spirited laugh that makes your stomach drop. "Oh, he does okay, but honestly, he's just a little boy who needs his mommy. Runs to her every Sunday like clockwork. Can't make a decision without calling her first. I'm basically marrying a child." The entire table went silent. Her mother tried to change the subject, but Rachel was on a roll. "Last week, he actually left our date night early because his mommy needed help moving a couch." A couch? And don't get me started on how much money he wastes on her. New refrigerator here, car repairs there. I keep telling him that when we're married, that stops. I'm not competing with his mother for the rest of my life. Her sister Melissa laughed. "Good luck with that. Mama's boys never change." "Oh, I'll change him," Rachel said. "Once we're married and I control the finances, Mommy Dearest gets cut off. He'll see her on holidays like normal people." I sat there, forkful of pasta halfway to my mouth, processing what I was hearing. This woman who I'd been financially supporting for 2 years, who lived in the apartment I paid for, who drove the car I'd bought her, was calling me a child. In front of her entire family. "You're right," I said quietly. Rachel turned to me, smirking. "See? He even admits it. No, you're absolutely right. I am just a little boy who needs his mommy. And you know what? Little boys shouldn't get married." I stood up, placed my napkin on the table. "Thank you for dinner," I said to her parents. "Happy anniversary." And I left. My phone started blowing up before I even reached my car. Texts from Rachel ranging from, "Baby, come back, I was just joking," to "You're embarrassing me," to "If you leave, we're done." I texted back once. "We're already done." Then I drove to my mom's house. She was surprised to see me. It was 8 p.m. on a Saturday. Made me tea, didn't ask questions until I was ready to talk. When I told her what happened, she was quiet for a long moment. "I never liked her," she finally said, "but you seemed happy, so I kept my mouth shut." "Why didn't you like her?" "She never once offered to help when she came over. Never brought anything to Sunday lunch. Never said thank you. And she'd roll her eyes when you hugged me goodbye." Small things, but they add up. I stayed the night in my old room. Woke up Sunday morning with absolute clarity about what I needed to do. Update 1: Monday was interesting. I called in sick to work, then drove to the apartment at 10 a.m. when I knew Rachel would be at her yoga class. Packed everything I owned. Wasn't that much, honestly. My clothes, gaming setup, work equipment, personal documents. The furniture was all mine. I'd bought it, but I left it. Wanted a clean break. Except for one thing. The 65-inch OLED TV I'd bought 3 months ago. That came with me. Petty? Maybe. Satisfying? Absolutely. Left my key and a note. Rent is paid through the end of the month. After that, it's your responsibility. The account at the power company and internet are in my name. I'll be canceling them Friday. Good luck. Moved everything to my mom's house. She'd cleared out the basement rec room for me. Not ideal at 29, but better than living with someone who publicly humiliated me. Rachel came home to find me gone. The calls started immediately. 18 in the first hour. Then texts. "Where are you? This is ridiculous. You can't just leave. We need to talk. I was joking. You're overreacting. Please answer me. Answer your phone. Then the tone shifted. How am I supposed to pay rent? You can't just abandon me. I'll be homeless. You're being financially abusive. That last one actually made me laugh. Financially abusive? I'd been paying 80% of our expenses for 2 years. Tuesday, she showed up at my work. Security wouldn't let her in, badge required, but she waited in the lobby for 3 hours. I went out the back exit and worked from home the rest of the day. Wednesday, the real panic set in. She'd apparently just realized I was serious. Her friend Chloe called me. You need to talk to Rachel? No, I don't. She's a mess. She hasn't eaten, hasn't slept. She might lose her job because she keeps crying during classes. That sounds like a her problem. How can you be so cold? You were together 3 years. Ask her how cold she was Saturday night when she called me a little boy in front of her entire family. She didn't mean it. You know how Rachel is, she just talks without thinking sometimes. Exactly, and now she can think about what she said without me around. Chloe hung up on me. Thursday is when things got interesting. Rachel's dad, Frank, called me. Frank's a contractor, decent guy, always treated me well. Son, I'm not calling to defend what Rachel said. That was out of line. Thank you. But walking out on a 3-year relationship over one comment seems extreme. Frank, with all due respect, it wasn't one comment. It was her telling your entire family that she plans to financially control me and cut my mother off once we're married. That's not a partner, that's a dictator. He was quiet. Then she said that? Ask anyone who was there. I must have missed that part. I was in the kitchen getting more wine. Ask your wife, ask Melissa. They all heard it. Another pause. She can't afford that apartment alone. I know. She'll have to move back home. That's probably for the best. You're really done? No counseling? No second chances? Frank, she didn't just insult me. She revealed who she really is. Someone who sees my love for my mother as weakness. Someone who thinks marriage means controlling me. Someone who publicly humiliates me for entertainment. Why would I sign up for a lifetime of that? He sighed. Can't say I blame you, son. Take care of yourself. That evening, I get a text from Melissa, Rachel's sister. She's moving back home this weekend. Hope you're happy. I texted back, I'm getting there. Update 2. Rachel moved back with her parents. I know because she posted about it on Instagram, trying to spin it as taking time for self-care and family bonding. The comments were supportive until someone asked about the wedding and she had to admit we'd broken up. Then the narrative changed. According to her social media, I was emotionally unavailable, codependent with my mother, and refused to grow up. She painted herself as the victim who'd tried so hard to help me become a man. I didn't respond, didn't post anything, just watched and screenshotted everything. My mom, meanwhile, was thrilled to have me around. Not thrilled about the circumstances, but happy for the company. I helped her renovate the basement properly, painted, new flooring, installed a mini kitchen. Cost about $8 all in, but worth it. My own space while I figured out next steps. Rachel's friend group started reaching out, not to reconcile, but to ask for money. Apparently, I'd been unknowingly funding their entire social circle. When Rachel and I went out, I paid. When we did group dinners, I covered her portion. Beach house rental last summer, I paid her share. Concert tickets, wine tours, escape rooms, I'd been the invisible benefactor of her entire friend group through her. Now she couldn't afford to do anything, and they were realizing the gravy train had derailed. Her best friend Victoria actually had the audacity to Venmo request me $300 for Rachel's portion of the bachelorette party next month. I declined with the note, "Little boys don't have money, ask her mommy and daddy." But the real explosion came Tuesday. Rachel discovered I'd withdrawn my portion of the wedding deposits. We'd booked a venue, photographer, and caterer. Deposits totaled $8,500. I'd paid $7,000, she'd paid $1,500. I'd called all 3 vendors Monday, explained the situation. The venue and photographer refunded my portion, minus a small cancellation fee. The caterer couldn't refund the deposit, but they could transfer it to a different event. So I used it to cater my mom's upcoming 63rd birthday party. 60-person guest list, full dinner, open bar. Mom was ecstatic. Rachel was not. She called from her dad's phone. I hadn't blocked that number. You stole our wedding money. I withdrew my contributions. Your $1,500 is still there. The venue wants $5,000 more or they'll cancel. Then pay it. With what money? The money you'll be saving by controlling my finances, remember? Oh wait, that was after we got married. Guess you'll have to figure something else out. You're doing this to hurt me. No, I'm doing this because it's my money. I'm just a little boy, remember? Little boys shouldn't be planning weddings. Stop throwing that in my face. It was one comment. One comment that revealed everything. Rachel, you told your family you were going to control my money and cut my mom off. You called me a child for loving my mother. You laughed at me with your sister. In what universe would I marry you after that? I was joking. It was just talk. Jokes are supposed to be funny. Nobody was laughing except you and Melissa. This is about your mother, isn't it? She never liked me. She's poisoning you against me. My mother hasn't said a single bad word about you. She doesn't need to. Your own words did all the work. She hung up on me. 20 minutes later, I get a call from the wedding venue. They're confirming the cancellation and processing my refund. Apparently, Rachel couldn't cover the remaining deposit. The photographer called next. Same situation. The caterer called to confirm the birthday party details and thank me for keeping the business with them. That evening, Rachel's mom, Patricia, called. Unlike Frank, she was not understanding. You're destroying my daughter over your pride. Your daughter destroyed our relationship with her cruelty. She's had to cancel the wedding. Do you know how humiliating that is? Do you know how humiliating it was to be called a little boy in front of your entire family? She was just teasing. That's how she shows affection. By planning to financially control me and isolate me from my mother? That's affection? You're twisting her words. Patricia, you were there. You heard every word. You tried to change the subject because even you knew it was inappropriate. Silence. She's my daughter. I have to defend her. I understand. And she's your problem now. Good luck with that. Update 3. The entitlement escalated exactly as you'd expect. Rachel started a GoFundMe. Help me rebuild after financial abuse. Her goal? $10,000. The description painted me as a manipulative man who'd trapped her in financial dependency, then abandoned her without warning. She claimed I'd forced her to work only part-time so she'd be dependent on me. Reality? She refused to work full-time because it would disrupt her spiritual energy, and full-time work is corporate slavery. She said I'd isolated her from financial resources. Reality? She had full access to her own accounts. She just never put money in them because mine was available. She claimed I'd stolen wedding funds that were rightfully hers. Reality? I'd withdrawn exactly what I'd contributed. The GoFundMe raised $250. $200 was from her mom, $50 from her aunt. Then came the employment saga. Rachel applied for full-time positions but hadn't updated her resume in 3 years. She listed me as a reference without asking. When employers called, I was honest. How long have you known Miss Morrison? 3 years personally. What can you tell us about her work ethic? I've never worked with her professionally, so I can't speak to that. She listed you as a professional reference. That's incorrect. We were in a personal relationship. I've never been her colleague or supervisor. 3 different employers called, same conversation each time. She didn't get any of the jobs. Her dad called again. She's saying you're sabotaging her job search. Frank, she listed me as a professional reference without asking. I told them the truth, that I've never worked with her. How is that sabotage? She says you're bad-mouthing her. I specifically said I couldn't speak to her professional abilities because I've never worked with her. That's the opposite of bad-mouthing. Can you just help her out? Give her a good reference? So you want me to lie to potential employers? Silence. She's desperate, son. She's 27 with barely any work history, living with her parents. And whose fault is that? I'm not responsible for fixing the life she chose. Meanwhile, I was thriving. Without spending money on Rachel, I was saving an extra $2,000 a month. I paid off my car loan early, started an investment portfolio, helped my mom replace her old windows with energy-efficient ones. Living with mom wasn't even bad. We had separate spaces, respected each other's privacy. I cooked dinner 3 nights a week. She cooked 3 nights, and we ordered takeout on Sundays. It was actually nice. Then Rachel played her final card. She showed up at my mom's house on a Sunday afternoon. Not alone, she brought her parents and Melissa. 4 against 2, she probably thought. Mom answered the door. "Mrs. Thompson, we need to talk to Garrett. He doesn't want to see you, dear. This is between me and him, and this is my house. You're not welcome here." That's when I came to the door. "It's okay, Mom. Let's hear what she has to say." Rachel had clearly rehearsed this. "Garrett, I'm here to apologize. I was wrong to say those things. I was drinking. I was showing off. I was stupid. Please give us another chance." "You weren't drunk. You had 1 glass of wine." "Okay, but I was nervous. Bradley was bragging and I felt insecure." "So you threw me under the bus to feel better about yourself?" "I didn't mean it." "Which part? The part about me being a little boy? The part about controlling my finances? The part about cutting my mom off? Which part didn't you mean?" Melissa jumped in. "Oh my God, it was just girl talk. Every woman complains about their man." "To their entire family? At a formal dinner? That's normal to you?" Patricia tried next. "Garrett, Rachel loves you. She made a mistake. Surely that's worth forgiveness?" "I've forgiven her. That doesn't mean I'm taking her back." Finally, Frank spoke. "What would it take? Counseling? She'll go to counseling. There's nothing she can do. She showed me who she really is. I believe her." Rachel started crying. "You're ruining my life over one stupid comment." My mom finally spoke up. "Young lady, you ruined your own life. You had a good man who loved you, supported you, and would have given you everything. And you mocked him for loving his mother. What kind of woman does that? What kind of wife would you have been? What kind of mother? Would you mock your own children for loving you too much?" That hit hard. Rachel's face went pale. "Get off my property," Mom continued, "and don't come back. My son deserves better than you." They left. Rachel was sobbing, Patricia was furious, Frank looked defeated, and Melissa was ranting about toxic masculinity and emotional manipulation. That was 2 days ago. Final update. It's been 6 weeks since the anniversary dinner. Life has moved on in unexpected ways. Rachel got a full-time job at a gym, not as an instructor, at the front desk. $15 an hour, no benefits. Her Instagram went from yoga poses and inspirational quotes to complaints about corporate slavery and toxic work culture. The entitlement is still there, just aimed at new targets. She's still living with her parents. Frank told me, we still talk occasionally, he does work on Mom's house, that she's a nightmare. Expects her mom to do her laundry, cook her meals, clean her room. Throws tantrums when asked to contribute to household chores. They're charging her $500 monthly rent, and she acts like they're stealing from her. "We created a monster," he said last week. "Patricia babied her, I enabled it, and you financed it. Now we're all paying the price. Except you escaped." The friend group imploded. Without me inadvertently funding their activities, they couldn't afford their lifestyle. They turned on Rachel, blaming her for losing their meal ticket. Actual quote from Victoria that got back to me. "She's basically friendless now except for Melissa, who's apparently just as entitled." The best part? Rachel's cousin Bradley, the Tesla-driving, Bali vacationing golden boy whose bragging started this whole thing? His girlfriend dumped him last week. Her reason? She witnessed how Rachel treated me at the dinner and realized Bradley had the same entitled attitude. She literally told him, "I saw your cousin destroy her relationship with her ego, and you're exactly like her. I'm out." Bradley blamed Rachel for ruining his relationship with her drama. They don't speak anymore. As for me, I'm doing great. Started dating someone new, Lauren, a nurse at the hospital where Mom had her knee surgery last month. Met her when I was visiting Mom post-op. Lauren loves that I'm close with my mother. "It shows character," she said. "Men who respect their mothers make good partners." We're taking it slow, but it's healthy. She has her own apartment, her own money, her own life. We split dates 50-50. She comes to Sunday lunch at Mom's sometimes, and she actually helps cook. Mom adores her. Found my own apartment last week. 2-bedroom, nice area, reasonable rent, move in next month. Mom's excited for me, but sad to lose her live-in handyman. I promised I'd still come for Sunday lunch and repairs. The $2,000 monthly I was spending on Rachel? Half goes to savings, half goes to Mom. Not because she needs it, but because I want to help her retire early. She's worked hard enough. The woman who Rachel wanted to cut off will retire at 64 instead of 67. Thanks to the money I'm not wasting on an entitled partner. Rachel texted me last week. Just one message. I hope you're happy. I responded, I am. I hope someday you will be too. She blocked me after that. Good riddance. Looking back, that anniversary dinner was the best thing that could have happened. Rachel revealed her true self, and I got to see it clearly. No years of marriage before the mask slipped. No kids involved. No messy divorce. Just a clean break from someone who saw my love for my mother as weakness. The little boy who needed his mommy? He's doing just fine. Turns out loving your mother isn't weakness, it's strength. And any partner who doesn't understand that isn't worth having. Mom says Lauren understands that. We'll see where it goes, but one thing's certain, I'll never let anyone mock me for loving my family again. That's not negotiable. Thanks for reading. Little Boy, signing off.